Hello and welcome to my channel. I'm Alex, and today I'm going to be dealing with a problem on the VRS. I was out driving the other evening and the battery light came on, which was a very suspicious indication that might be something wrong with the charge in the alternator, something like that. Playing it safe, I returned home, got onto the drive, and the power steering went, which is another sign of low power, and basically it cut out. Eventually I managed to get it going and back into parking space, but as I'll show you, it's still on. There we go. I tested the battery and it was reading, I think it was about 11.5 volts, so I knew that was down. Put it on charge overnight. Got it up to, I think it was about 12.6 volts, which is good state for a battery. And fitted it back in and it started up. But it wasn't happy at all. So what I'm going to do now is just show you how I tested the battery. I've got my trusty multimeter out to test the state of the battery. As you can see, it's not in a brilliant state. So I'm going to start the engine up and we'll see what it looks like then. We should be getting a reading of 12 to 13 volts and no more than 14. I can hope you hear this, but there's also a bit of a whining noise coming from there. This is much more noticeable at higher revs, and I suspect that the alternator bearing has gone as well. First thing we need to do is get this removed so we can access the auxiliary drive belt and get that removed. I've now taken the battery off and got it charging up in the kitchen, which will really annoy the wife when she gets back from Birmingham. But hey, that's tough luck. Even if I wasn't going to remove the battery and charge it up, I would have still disconnected it. Anything to do with electrics, always disconnect the battery, just as a precaution. I've marked the drive belt with a little bit of masking tape and an arrow pointing towards the front of the car, so that when it comes to refitting, I know which way to put it. The middle pulley with the bolt on it is the one that we need to be getting to. That is a tensioner of the drive belt. So to get to it, you have to go for underneath with a 16mm spanner, turn it clockwise, and it will then slacken off the belt. The next step is going to be to remove the electrical connection, which can be a little bit fiddly. So I just give it a quick waggle with a screwdriver, and out it comes. There we go, it's just a 2-pin one. Then we have to remove the positive lead that goes to it. And that's just got a little plastic cap on it. That's just held on with a 13mm nut, and that comes off pretty easily. And that's all the electrics disconnected. Stick the nut back on so we don't lose it. The electrics are also retained by a little nut there, so that has to come off as well. And that's them unbolted. And there we go. Before I do anything else, the next thing is going to be to check that the alternator that I've got is the correct one. Nothing worse than getting one and then finding out you've taken it all apart, got it dirty, and it's the wrong type. That looks pretty good to me. Yep, that's the right one. The only difference is that one's a Bosch one. This is probably a Chinese one. Right, so we'll just have a quick listen to what the bearings sound like. Noticeable difference. That's everything wired up and the battery charged up. It's showing 12.49 volts, a little bit lower than what I was hoping to have seen, so I'm hoping the battery's not on the way out as well. Proof of the pudding is in the starting up. As you can see, no battery light anymore. I was a little bit concerned that it went to over 14 at one point, but it did seem to settle down, so I'm hoping that's just a running in thing. I'm going to be checking that just to make sure, because the last thing you need is overcharging the system or a battery. But yeah, apart from that, really happy with the results. Didn't take too long to do, even with my sciatica. If you liked it, give us a thumbs up. And also consider subscribing to my channel. It's not going to be much Skoda stuff on there, it's mostly tools and bits and pieces, but I thought I'd include this one. Thanks for watching, catch you on the next one.